it back, then loses it again. And a foul going to be called on Hawkins. And that's his second, and he was very angry when he got up.
Danny Hawkins called for the foul, his third.
So now Mid-America with one of their key players in a little foul trouble, though Rocky Lamar will stay with him for the time being. They're going to clean up some of the sweat on the floor. And now with that taken care of, College of the Ozarks will inbound the ball. 51-42, Mid-America Nazarene with the lead at 9:50 to go. Stone in Bandy. Over to Howerton. Howerton drives to the basket. Good job by Hawkins blocking him off, and in fact, Steve Shepard thought there probably should have been a foul there. Now the ball thrown inside errantly, and here comes Mid-America again. Gets it over to Bell. Bell outside to Boots for a three. That is in and out, no good. Big miss for Mid-America. That would have put him up 12. Now Stone tries to answer at the other end. Does.
Big basket for Corey Stone and for the Bobcats there.
Pulls them to within 6, but they need a stop. And all of a sudden, the decibel level here at Keeter Gym begins to rise again. Boots has the ball, being guarded by Ray. They go inside to Swinger. Swinger guarded, so he'll kick it back outside. Now 10 to shoot for Mid-America. Hepker drives to the basket. Kicks outside to Boots. Boots underhanded layup will be up, no good. Rebound to Swinger, blocked, but they call a foul on Stone.
Tell you what, Hepper actually got away with a big push-off to start that drive, and then he did a nice job of continuing to crash the board there and keep it alive until Swinger could get it and try again himself.
But here's what makes it critical. That's Corey Stone's 4th foul. And he has been the C of O offense tonight. And you're almost to the point now, although McElvain will come in for him, that he's not going to be able to sit very long. Swinger at the free throw line will make the first free throw for Mid-America. Stone with his 18 points has to leave the lineup for a while. Now the second free throw coming up. That one is good by Swinger. He makes them both. And it's a 53-45 Mid-America lead with 8:35 to play. Now where's C of O going to get the offense? Bandy is the next leading scorer with 12. Drew Ray drives, gets it to Howerton. Howerton drives, hands it back to Ray. Ray hands it to McElvain. McElvain to Howerton. Howerton almost walks. They fired into Ray. Ray's fadeaway is no good, and Howerton gets the board. Back over to McElvain, who will reset. Big rebound for C of O there. And timeout called by College of the Ozarks. College of the Ozarks will take a timeout. It'll be a full timeout with 8:07 to play. And Mid-America Nazarene with the 53-45 lead over College of the Ozarks as the Bobcats try to keep their season alive. 53-45 to score, 8:07 to go, back after 60 seconds on 100.1 KOMC. So the Bobcats now find themselves down by 8. Mid-America Nazarene, although they have the 8-point lead, thanks to the Bobcats, haven't really been able to completely seize control of the game like it looked like they would. But now with Stone on the bench with 4 fouls, Pullen in the training room with an unknown injury, they've got to find an answer somewhere.
And you got to wonder where they can go. You look at the stats for most of the year, and you know that is the majority of their points. Bandy and Stone, 18.1, 16.3 per game. Colt Blair averages 9.9 a game. Now he is capable of more offense when needed, and that might be one place they can look.
Well, you know Stone will have to stay out for at least another 2 or 3 minutes, but obviously the game gets too far out of reach, they will elect to put him back in. 53-45, Mid-America Nazarene with the advantage. College of the Ozarks will have the basketball. Mid-America, the number 2 seed in the tournament, trying to move on to the Final Four. College of the Ozarks, the number 10 seed, trying for the upset. These are the past 2 national champions hooking up. C of O in 06, Mid-America in 07. And a foul called on Mid-America. This will be the 7th team foul, which means Drew Ray will go to the free throw line. Drew Ray, as we talked about in last night's game, 92% free throw shooter. And he needs to make 2 big ones here. Get it down to a 2-possession game and try to keep some pressure on Mid-America until such a time that Steve Shepard feels like Corey Stone can return. Here's the first free throw by Ray. Good. First point of the ball game for Drew Ray. Red shirt during the national championship year of 06. Sophomore from just down the road in Berryville, Arkansas. Makes them both. Mid-America Nazarene leads at 53-47. Hepker into the front court for Mid-America. Hepker and Bell, the backcourt combination. Boots has it right in front of us, gets it over to Bell, cross court to Hepker. Hepker drives to the hole, and his layup good, and he's fouled. That is just Adam Hepker right there. Steve Shepard doesn't like it, and you might make an argument for that call maybe need to be made at the other end a little bit more, but you just have to admire the move Adam Hepker just put on the Bobcats there. That was just a superior effort by the senior from Iowa.
Really a lot of talent as he comes in. He showed that he can lead this team, gets the people on the right spot on the floor, but if called up on the score, he does that equally as well. That time delivering with the left hand and drawing a foul.
Hepker now with 11. And Mid-America just like that, back up by 9, 56-47. Bandy in the front court. Looks for someone to throw it to. We'll find Drew Ray. Drew Ray between the circles to Howerton. Howerton to Blair. Blair top of the key, Ray. Ray wanted to try the shot, but Mid-America's defense just would not let him. Howerton now back to Ray. 10 seconds to shoot. Here's Bandy. Back to Ray. No, Bandy's going to keep it. Bandy wants to drive to the basket. He's going to try one from 18. That's no good. And the rebound pulled down by Mid-America. You know, Bandy had Drew Ray open right to his left, but Bandy knew the shot clock was running down and felt like he had to throw it up. Now a 9-point Mid-America lead. Here comes Corey Stone back in the ballgame for C of O. Bell has it on the left side. In the corner to Hepker. Back to Bell. Could have been a foul call there on Blair, but they passed it by. Hepker drives to the basket. Kicks out to Bell. Bell shovels it in. Baseline jumper is up, no good. And Ray gets the rebound for C of O. May got away with a push off himself. But C of O with the basketball trailing 9. McIlvain dribbles it in, loses the ball, and Mid-America picks it up. And time now winding down for C of O. They trail it by 9, 6:06 to go. Hawkins on the baseline. Goes in, puts it up and in.
He is a load down there.
It is now 58-47 Mid-America Nazarene, and timeout called College of the Ozarks. 58-47 Mid-America with an 11-point lead, and we see that Chris Pullen has made his way back to the sideline. Not sure what his status is going to be, if he's going to be able to come back or not, but he is on the sideline as Steve Shepard and the Bobcats talk it over here during the timeout. We'll step aside locally for 30 seconds and back with more after this from the national tournament on KONC. little bit of the sights and sounds here at College of the Ozarks as the crowd is still into it, but for College of the Ozarks fans, it's the Mid-America fans that are getting the better of it now as Mid-America is getting the better of the game. They lead it by 11, 58-47 with 5:41 to play. And if the Bobcats ever had a must-score possession in their season, this is it. This is the first double-digit lead of the ball game for either team. And the Bobcats have to have a basket now of any type. Bandy kicks it out to Stone. Stone with a three. That's no good. Howardin gets the rebound and then a foul called. And that could be a big break for C of O because Hawkins just got called for his fourth foul. Rocky Lamar asking for a travel call there. Didn't get it. And so we'll see what Rocky Lamar is going to do here. Right now, Hawkins will stay in the ball game. There is just 5:31 left. He does have Crotty on the bench. Free throw by Howerton rolls out. And Jared Howerton, who has tried to fill in the shoes for Pullen, has just been misfiring on the shots. And now Mid-America probably going to run some clock here with an 11-point lead. Hawkins between the circles. Gives it off to Bell. Bell is going to be fouled by Drew Ray, and you know, this is the frustrating thing, so you can hear it from the fans, but this is what's so frustrating, and you know, that was a hand check foul. That, I mean, it was right in front of us. Drew Ray committed the foul, but I know what frustrates fans sometimes is when they see the near knockdowns that happen that no fouls called, and then you see the hand checks that are called. Not an opinion, just a statement that fact
it is.
That happens, and I think that's why coaches and fans do get upset about it. And you know, and I've been the one, you know, for folks locally that have heard me for years, I'm the one that has always advocated that if you're going for a loose ball and you don't come up with it, but you have a lot of collisions and stuff, as Stone goes in for a layup that's good at the other end after 2 free throws. It is, I don't know. I guess maybe a warning for a delay of game probably there. It is 60-49 to score, but to finish the thought, you know, I'm in one, you've heard me enough say that. I mean, if players are going for a loose ball, and even if the collisions get, you know, even hard, I mean, if neither team is getting an advantage, then I don't think a foul should be called. I mean, that's just my opinion. I've always felt that way. Now, if someone gets an advantage by throwing an elbow on something, then yes, you should call that. As Mid-America has to take a timeout as they get the ball trapped in the backcourt. Full timeout for Mid-America Nazarene. 60-49 the score, 4:51 to play. And we'll go ahead and keep it here during the timeout to finish that thought. But, you know, and again, I would not want a referee's job. I made the comment years ago. I tried it at a 3-on-3 basketball tournament one time, and I didn't like it. My dad was an official for many, many years, and so that job is one I wouldn't have. I don't think most of the people in the stands would even dare take it if they wanted it, but you do see that, and I think you can understand, you know, the frustration of the fans when you do see it, and the coaches too.
Yeah, and you know, it all speaks to wanting consistency. But at the same time, you got to remember, you've got 3 individuals out there, and what might be consistent for each individual throughout the game, if you're on a different part of the floor with an official, you might have a different, they may see it differently and interpret it differently.
Yeah, and we were talking about that during one of the earlier games today where the officials, and again, these are selected by the NAIA as the best.
Right.
And again, we're not criticizing their performance because overall their performance has been very good in this tournament on all games. But the only point we're making here is that you get a situation where you see the situation like we had a moment ago where a hand check was called when what looked to be a pull down wasn't earlier. And again, that's not necessarily going to catch or see everything, but that's, I think, what really gets to him. Now here's a layup there. Mid-America off the inbound pass by Ben Swinger, and Mid-America's lead back to 13, 62-49. Blair drives to the hoop, gives it back to Bandy. Bandy tries to force one up, but he gets it. And that a big one, cuts the lead to 10, but C of O needs to get a stop right here, and they're not going to get it this time as Hepker goes in, misses the layup, but they make their own stop by the missed layup. That was one that Hepker really forced because they had the numbers. Mandy's drive to the hoop is good. 17 points, and now the Bobcats down only 8, but time's still running out. They've only got 4 minutes left in this one. Hawkins against Stone. Remember, Stone's got 5 fouls, and a jump ball call, possession to C of O. And boy, Corey Stone took a big chance there because of that call of foul. He's gone.
Well, one thing that he did is Hudson did not go up strong, too high to the basket. Corey did a nice job. He did not have to jump on it. He was able to get on top of the ball without jumping, and that's a big difference a lot of times when they commit a foul.
62-54, Mid-America Nazarene, 3:50 to go, C of O. Almost every possession must score now for him. Bandy being guarded very heavily by Hepker. Gets out to Stone, who tries a long-range three. That one no good. Rebound tipped by Howerton and safe from going out of bounds. Howerton back out to Stone, and they'll get to try it again. Excuse me, that's Blair with the basketball. Blair drives to the hoop, goes in. His layup is good. 4 points for Cole Blair. Now Mid-America the other way. Pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound comes out long. And now Rocky Lamar saying pull it back out. He was wanting to pull it out in the first place, and now Rocky Lamar will take a timeout. Timeout College of the Ozarks. And they have jumped right back in it, trailing by only 6. With 3:11 to go. Do they have a comeback in them? We'll find out. We'll step aside for 60 seconds back after this timeout on 100.1 KOMC.
Scott looking over on the College of the Ozarks. Looking over the College of the Ozarks bench as Chris Pullen's still limping around as he's trying to support his team. I think it's pretty evident we won't see him the rest of the game where we would already have.
Yeah, he is on the bench, so you would think it would certainly be in the game now if he could be, but possibly just not able to go, and that's really sad for Chris Pullen if this does turn out to be his last game. He is a senior,
yes.
And you know you don't want a senior having to end like that. So we'll see if the Bobcats can extend the season without him. They've gotten that surge now. They've gotten the crowd back in it. Can they maintain it for another 3:11? Mid-America Nazarene ball, 3:11 to play. College of the Ozarks trails it by 6. They try to get Boots open into the basket. That doesn't work, so they go to the backcourt to Hepker. And again, they have 25 seconds on the shot clock, and they're going to use a lot of it here unless they get a real good look at the basket. Bell goes into Hawkins. Hawkins is going to go up, shoot, and score. Tell you what, that's just hard to defend right there. Howerton did everything he could there, and the lead for Mid-America back to 8. And that ends their scoring run. C of O's. Now Bandy with the pull-up jumper, no good. Stone or Blair with the board, his shot no good. And there was a lot of contact there, no foul. And Steve Shepard very, very upset. Folks, we're just looking at what we saw. It didn't look like there was a lot of contact there. But now an 8-point Mid-America lead, and they have the ball running clock. Hawkins again on the inside. He's just going to take it in. This time Howerton does a good job of defending him, and now the shot on the outside, no good, but there is a foul ball. And again, the C of O fans upset as there was a hacking foul called at that end, but one that looked a lot worse at the other end that wasn't. And the C of O fans behind us expressing their displeasure at that. Swinger misses the first free throw. We'll keep it a 3-possession ball game, but C of O quickly running out of time here. 2:17 to go. One more free throw on the way. As substitutes coming in now. McElvain leaves the lineup.
C of O a little smaller, threw Ray on the floor, but now they do have all 5 positions that can shoot the 3.
And the second free throw is good. I thought I heard a whistle or something there in the
I
background.
did too. Must have come from behind us.
Daniel Bandy for C of O as they trail it by 9. Bandy throws it to Howerton. Howerton to Blair. Blair goes to the basket. His shot is no good, but he is fouled. And a free throw, 2 of them coming up. Colt Blair, very, very frustrated. He wasn't able to get the 3-point play that could have got this thing down to 6. But he will have 2 free throws to cut the margin to 7. Now 2:01 to go. McElvain will check back into the lineup. Blair will make the first free throw. Colt has 5.
McElvain back into the game for the Cats, back into the game for the Pioneers, number 22 Boots, and number 00 Hawkins.
One more on the way for Blair. His second free throw is up and good as well. Colt Blair has 6.
David Peterson into the game now.
65-58. Mid-America Nazarene with the lead and the ball. 1:55 to play. It's a 7-point Mid-America lead. And you know they're going to want to run clock. A lot of it. Hepker dribbles in. He kicks it out to Bell. Bell drives to the hoop. Bell tries a pass. Actually was a little low for Swinger, but he was able to pick it up and get it back out to Hepker, who now ready to set up. This may be it right here. Hepker against Colt Blair. Hepker to the basket, and he will score. 67-58, and that may have done it right there. C of O needs a long 3. They're not going to get it, and the rebound comes out long. Mid-America will tie it up, and a tie-up will favor Mid-America on the arrow. So the Bobcats with a nice comeback, but it's going to fall a little short tonight, as it looks like that Mid-America will move on to the semifinals, and their hopes and dreams of defending their national championship will go on. And remember, for Mid-America Nazarene, this is their last year, scheduled to be their last year as an NAIA Division II ball club. They're going to be moving up to Division I next year. So if that goes forward like most people expect it will, then they will win the last championship, or at least still have a chance to win the last championship in Division II. Bandy knocks the ball out of bounds, but it still will be Mid-America ball. 29 seconds on the shot clock, 1:08 to go in the game. Hepker to the front court. C of O trying for a steal. Not going to get it. Blair also trying for a steal. Bell has it. Down to 15 seconds, down to 14 seconds. Down to 10. And Bandy will finally commit a foul with 48 seconds to go.
Down to only 8 seconds left on the shot clock before they're able to commit the foul.
It was kind of funny that even when C of O wanted the officials to call a foul, couldn't get one called. It took about 5 extra seconds with Bandy chasing them around there. It's kind of been the night it has been for C of O. This is Austin Boots at the free throw line. This is 2 free throws. First one no good. But the second one would make it a 10-point lead for Mid-America with 48 seconds to play.
You know, the hometown Bobcats seemingly could not miss for the first 8-9 minutes of this game. But since then, you know, we've talked about how some things did not go the Bobcats' way, but you really have to give the Pioneers credit. They clamped down on the defensive end, really got things going on the offensive end as well.
Boots gets the second free throw. Remember, Mid-America was the #1 team in the country at Final Poll. Corey Stone pulls the trigger from long range. That one's no good. And Ray can't get the rebound and the foul on it. And Mid-America Nazarene's pretty well got this one wrapped up. And the C of O fans and the bench now realizing, as our seniors Daniel Bandy and Chris Pullen, that their season is about 40 seconds away from being done. Their careers, for those two, about 40 seconds from being done. Good careers, but Mid-America Nazarene. There's too many horses tonight for the Bobcats. First free throw good. Boots with 11. And there'll be one more on the way. And it is good as well. 12 for Austin Boots. 38 seconds to go. Howerton will try a long three. That one rolls in and out. And the rebound comes out to Blair. He'll try a three. That one is in and out. Bandy gets it again. Here's Blair again. Over to Bandy. Bandy tries another three. That one is in and out. And a rebounding foul called, I believe, on Mid-America. That'll be their 10th team foul, so Zevo will get to go to the free throw line. With 23 seconds to go, and I even hear some of the C of O fans say, now you make the call. But all kudos has to go to Mid-America Nazarene, coming into a very tough environment. And doing what they had to do and basically imposing their style, their will on C of O. That's why Mid-America has been one of the top teams in the country and one of the most successful teams in this tournament. Howerton misses them both, and that is the way it's been going. 70-58, and Mid-America is going to end up winning this game by about 14 or 15. And I don't know, was there a foul or a timeout call?
Maybe there's just a timeout because they're staying down on the staying down at the other end of the floor. So,
well, it's 70-58 with 18 seconds to go. We'll go ahead and keep it here. So for College of the Ozarks, it looks like the season will end tonight. But, you know, when you look at what they've accomplished this year, and you look at the fact that they have, without a really true post player, been able to get this far. And folks will remember, they had 2 or 3 that had committed here, but backed out at the last minute. And once they backed out, there was no time to change course, if you will. They basically had to go with the hand that was dealt them.
Right.
And all they did this year was win 27.
And an appearance here in the national quarterfinals. Now they had hoped to join the women, and, you know, a step further, but still an absolutely wonderful year for the Bobcats.
Mid-America with the basketball. And I'm not really sure if C of O is going to foul here. And I don't think they are. They're just going to let the clock run out. And that's going to do it. Mid-America Nazarene celebrates at the College of the Ozarks Peter Gymnasium as Mid-America Nazarene comes up with the 70-58 win over the College of the Ozarks Bobcats. So C of O season is done as they finish at 27-6. Mid-America Nazarene now has won their 31st game of the year. They move on, take on either Oregon Tech or Grace in the national semifinals.